So like whenever you're first starting out a lesson plan about creating characters, I think it's really important for the kids to understand the aspects of what you're looking for in a character. First thing, obviously, is name. I think a name says a lot about a character before you even meet them. Think about Star Wars. You have Han Solo, right? Solo's in his name. He likes to be alone, do his own thing. Anakin Skywalker. He's this pilot that goes all over the place and just basically dominates the galaxy, even though he's a really evil guy. Walter White is, I think, one of my favorite fiction characters of all time. His name doesn't say a lot about himself necessarily, but it's just a very catchy phrase that kind of gets onto you and won't get off after a little while. So name is really important. You want to make sure that whenever they're making names for their characters, they don't do something like Seymour Butts or something like that, because, they probably will. The next thing is physical. You want to talk about sex, gender, hair, eyes, what they look like. What they look like determines a lot of times kind of the role that they'll play in their story. You don't want someone to be a Marine and be 5'3" and 120 pounds. That's probably just not going to happen. Third thing is mentality and philosophy. This is really one of the biggest points, I think. You have to have a drive or reason behind what your characters do in their stories. And if you don't have a specific worldview for them, I think it can be very, very hard and difficult to develop a plot line from that. And then the last thing is history. What's their backstory? Where did they come from? What motivates them? What drives them? What kind of bad things happened to them in their past that they're trying to fix? What good things happened that made them what they are today? So I think that those are 4 really important things. There's obviously some different elements in there that you could throw in, but I think that that's the best place to really start. So I've included a template in this that I actually think is really, really good for creating a fiction character that's also very user-friendly for younger kids. All right. So you got a template for your first paragraph. Basically, I put it in order. You start out your first line of your paragraph. You want to start out with the name of the character, obviously. So I have my example paragraph that I made down here earlier today. So your name of the character and something that they're doing. So you start off with Don Blitz looked across the room. Think about Don Blitz. That's a pretty hardcore name, I feel like. So you obviously already have a picture of what this guy looks like, his personality maybe even. Looked across the room. Very ominous. People are already like, what the heck's going on? It's not the best line, but you get the idea. Second line, you describe setting through the character's senses. That way, you get a feel for the room, but you're getting it through their eyes. Automatically, you have some connection with the character if you're reading that. You say the courtroom had gone silent. He could see the anxiety in the room. So, draw people in. They get to have a feel of what the character's surroundings are like. You already have kind of maybe part of the story about how your character is getting where he is right now. Next thing is character has an introspective thought about what's happening / happened. This is where you can really drive home the backstory potentially about how it's led to this moment right now. So for that one, I put he thought about Gina and how this long investigation was finally coming to an end in justice. So you read that and you're like, ooh, who's Gina? Is it his wife, girlfriend, maybe somebody that tried to kill him? Who knows? The next thing is you want to give some physical description of the character. This obviously is just kind of building on the character once again. Sweat poured from his bald head and his muscular arms bulged from his clenched fists. So you reinforce the whole Don Blitz idea. Big, muscly guy, maybe kind of a meathead. And then last but not least, you want the character to perform an action as the scene ends. This is where you really want to wrap up this scene, and you really want to bring home this character just in this one paragraph. And whenever you read this whole paragraph through, by the time that you get to the end, you have Don sitting in a courtroom. He's really anxious. He's really stressed, and then you get to the last line. It says, the judge read the verdict, and Don let out a scream that shook the room. Just in that first paragraph, you have an awesome starting point to try and create a fiction story from. So, I would like you all to pull out a piece of paper real fast. because you're going to make your own fiction character real quick, and you can have it for later use if you want. So just use the template right here. I'm going to give you 2 minutes because I know you guys can do that.